I stop hauling cars? Well, there's a few reasons for that. And I'll just say that it was certainly one of the most exciting, most invigorating times of my life, actually, because it does take you, all over the country. It allows you to kind of basically be on vacation, and you're like traveling all over the world, and well, all over the country, not all over the world, but it's like for a lot of people that have only been in one city for most of their life, it's a tremendous opportunity to kind of see the country, and so obviously I think the majority of people that get into it for money. And it is a great business in that way, because you obviously can make money right away. And you don't need a marketing team, you don't need a research team, you don't need to rent a building. You simply need the equipment, you need the licensing, you need the insurance. And you pretty much are in the game. But with that being said, there are things that eventually wear you down. And for me, it was simply constantly having to be on the road, which is one you commonly hear. It's kind of hard to have any consistency in maybe your dating life or your workout life or just day to day. Most people like to have some consistency, and when you're driving, you really kind of have no consistency in your life. You might be around for a few days, 5 days, 10 days, but honestly, when it comes to the car hauling world, you've got to just take the top paying loads when they're posted out, when they're put on Central, when they're put on load boards, or when private clients call you. You have to just take them. Our thing was going from KC to Phoenix on a regular basis, and we made it pretty fun because we rented a place. Me and my partner, we rented a place in Phoenix, so we would just do a lot of back and forth from KC to Phoenix, and it was really great, because I could make $2,500 or $2,200 going to Phoenix, make close to that coming back to KC, and we had a place in both cities, so it was very easy to just kind of chill where we went. But the consistency, is a big thing that just wore me down. And then also regulations, dealing with the DOT, dealing with all the insurance. They really have set up the system in such a way that somebody like me who say I want to just have a part-time gig, it's really difficult to do, because you've got to pay annual premiums, you've got to pay. So anyway, that's my scoop on that. And click on this next video. I'm going to talk about the best setups to hotshot with if you're brand new and you want to get into this. You want to get into transporting. I'm going to tell you the top 2 types of trailers you want to look at if you're thinking about hotshotting with a dually for making money. So check that out. Regulations, the DOT, insurance requirements, the fact that you can't do it part-time, no consistency in your daily life, tough to keep a girlfriend, tough to keep anything, honestly. And then not to mention, sleeping in your truck, and not being able to take care of your body the way that you would otherwise, because you're relying on whatever you can find out on the road. And of course you can't pull in, you can't pull into whatever parking lot. You're very constrained. And so it definitely has a high, towards that early part of you getting into it, and then you start to get a little bit burned out. I wouldn't mind doing a run here and there. It's just it doesn't really work that way. You kind of have to really keep at it to make money. You can't really bop around with it. It's got to be a serious endeavor You know, if you're wanting to get into it, you can't half-ass that job. It just doesn't work. It won't work for you. Not to mention, I haven't even gotten into like repairs of trucks and so forth. I mean, that's a big expense and a big headache. I mean, I don't know how many times I had massive like situations on the highway where I'd had to replace you know, three tires at the same time, I've had my trailer like blow all three tires on a triple axle trailer, and the entire one side of the trailer is literally on the ground. And you know, that's no fun. I mean, and I got cars inside. I mean, luckily I never had anything catch on fire, never had any major incidents like that, but the amount of stress too that it takes on your body is. And finally, I mean, really the rates this last year, 2019, 2020, have really been pretty abysmal. And with a 2-car enclosed, like which is what that was what I was working with. You're not. I mean, I just wasn't seeing what I needed to see to really, you know, want to stay in the game. And my buddy has a 6-car enclosed, and for him, he can take 70 cents, 75 cents a mile enclosed, and he's all right because he goes coast to coast. So, you know, one load from the west coast to the east coast, if he can get a couple at 65, a couple at 75, a couple at 90 cents, that is, per mile. I mean, I don't know what that adds up to, but I don't know, maybe 8,000-9,000 or something. Somebody do the calculation. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll post it. But it's like, you're not going to get that with a 2-car. I mean, maybe you can get, I don't know, you probably can get 2,800, 3,000. I mean, it's kind of funny, like when a car is going coast to coast, you're almost going to pay the same amount of money to ship a car from like LA to like, let's just say Houston and or Atlanta than you're going to pay to ship it to the coast. I mean, there's just a huge drop off once you're doing that many miles, once you're going coast to coast, because that's what all your big haulers are trying to do. So they're all competing for those coast to coast loads, even if they're not even high priced, because they'd rather not have a bunch of stops. They'd rather just zip back and forth, which I get it, but that doesn't help me if I've got a 2-car hauler. So the 2-car hauler, I mean, I made most of my money on private clients. For people that are watching this that are in the industry, or they you know, and you got so many people that bitch, oh, you can't make money, it's a shitty ass industry. I mean, it's like endless online. It's like, okay, well, I had a 03 Dodge. I made a lot of money, you know, hauling. But you have to work your ass off. I mean, you have to haul ass. It's not a job for pansy asses in any way. You have to really negotiate. Not only do you have to like hustle and haul ass, but then you gotta sell people on your work, your equipment, get people that you meet when you drop cars off, give them your business card, have them call you back personally. Then they want that level of service that you delivered. So then now you can get all the money. There's no one, you're not going through 3 different, you know, brokers to get paid. I mean, they're paying you cash and they're paying you good money. You know, and it's a lot less stress too. I mean, they just call you up, you go pick them up, easy peasy. I mean, compared to all the hoops these brokers online make you jump through. I mean, so there is certainly money, but it's just not for the faint of heart. I mean, and you can't have any consistency in your life doing it. So it's really a job for like single guys or men who just have a lot of flexibility, or they have a really good girl at home. I guess if you're a girl, you can try to do it, but I really don't think it's the type of job for a chick. I mean, I don't know if that's sexist to say, but unless you like feel comfortable sleeping in the middle of nowhere, having massive situations on the highway where you're all by yourself and you got to fix stuff, a lot of different situations require a lot more physical strength. If I was a girl, I wouldn't even think about it, honestly. The amount of whacked out situations I've been in, middle of nowhere, I would have not felt good if I was a female. So it's just not really built, for women.